Just waiting for it to tick over to 1 o'clock for our it's what? Is it? My watch is different to yours, but let's have a
Television in South Africa is changing from living rooms to mobile screens, from family moments to on-demand choice. The way people watch has never been more diverse. As the Broadcast Research Council begins a new journey to measure viewing in a whole new way, we asked South Africans to share what TV means to them today. What does TV viewing mean to you today?
Learning something new. A fish that's giving us a wild mindset.
It's keeping you informed. Identify something that's keeping you informed, up to date.
That's television.
Yeah, that's television to be informed.
On phone, when we watch news, for example, they don't give us a full story.
Oh, okay.
But on TV, they does.
Okay.
My work is a big load on me. And I used to have a partner, and my partner passed away, so there was no communication anymore. So where do I run to? My TV.
Okay.
My TV was my, how can I say, my comfort zone.
There's something specific we want to watch. We'll tell the other people, we'll get together, make snacks and make something of it. It's not just TV. You understand? It's more like family time.
When and how do you watch television?
I do turn to YouTube during the day for news, and I also watch TikTok a few times during the day. When everybody returns around 6 o'clock at night, we put the TV back on and we all watch together. Well, mostly Universal, yes.
By 10 a.m. I'll be watching the repeats of soapies on SABC 1. And then at 6 p.m. when everybody's back from work, from school, we'll be watching the TV together.
7 o'clock is when I come back from work. And then I get to my room. In my room, I just watch movies from my tablets. That's when I do my streaming.
How has the way you watch TV changed over time?
So now everything is technology. You don't need a aerial, you just need a proper internet to watch a smart TV, and then you just need to subscribe into certain streaming apps so you can enjoy TV. So,
And then now taking much time, longer times to watch TV.
And now with YouTube, with Showmax, with on Disney, you can download movies, you can rent movies, you can watch. So it has changed a lot from what it used to be.
Is that change for the better?
And it's much better now compared to what it used to be. Okay. Because you got a wider choice, more of a variety.
Usually I would fight for the TV with the kids and the mother here. So now I can even have my own space using my phone. So my viewing is exchanged, and it has improved quite a lot, yeah.
And it also has happened before in this household. And I'm telling you, now thinking about it, that we can all watch something different. And it won't bother the other person. We listen it loud. She's busy on TikTok, she's busy on YouTube, she's busy on the TV. Yes, I'm telling you, all these noises and everybody's concentrating on their device.
The possibilities for watching television have increased massively. Now, it is crucial that BRC's measurement includes all these opportunities to see on all devices.
She uses her phone, she uses a TV, and I use both.
The new lens on South Africa's screens, redefining audience measurement in a changing nation. The Broadcast Research Council of South Africa.
Right, now that I have your attention. Welcome everybody, members from the broadcasters, the advertising agencies, the advertisers, the research industry, everybody online that has joined. You're most welcome. It's a very exciting day. This is the pre-launch of change in South Africa in terms of audience measurement when it comes to video. We will be having a larger event as a full launch next year. So look forward to that. But this is a precursor, and I think this will whet your appetite. Just some housekeeping for everybody that's in the room. After the event, please feel free to stay behind. This is a celebration. This is a celebration of change. This is a celebration of what we've been doing for most of this year, really, and the culmination of signing a new venture with our partners, GFK and NIQ Company. An NIQ Company, and I just want to touch on that. There's a bit of confusion in the market in terms of NIQ. NIQ is Nielsen IQ. Our current supplier is Nielsen Media. Two separate companies totally. So Nielsen IQ, Nielsen Media, separate. As you all know, Nielsen Media is leaving the country. Nielsen IQ is not. So let's begin. So welcome. It's a privilege to have you all here for this momentous occasion. It's the official signing between the Broadcast Research Council and GFK. Today marks the beginning of a new chapter in our country's audience measurement journey. And this is more than a ceremonial signing. In every sense, it's a turning point. It's a reset. One that acknowledges where we've come from and boldly defines where we're headed. For more than 3 decades, we've measured television audiences in much the same way, focused on what happens on the television screen in the home. It served us well, providing a consistent currency for the industry and a foundation for trust in how we trade and plan. But the world's evolved, as you've just seen. South Africa's evolved. As viewing has moved across devices, across platforms, across time, our measurement could no longer tell the full story of South African viewing. Today that changes. Today we begin the transition from television audience measurement to total video measurement. From a static picture to a dynamic view, from one platform to every screen. This is not simply a technical upgrade. It is the unlocking of a 360-degree understanding of how audiences engage with video content, wherever, whenever, and however they choose. With GFK's system, and through the partnership we formalized today, the BRC will deliver a new era of measurement, robust, inclusive, and future-ready. For our broadcasters, it means greater visibility of audiences across platforms. For our advertisers and agencies, it means deeper insights and more accountable investment decisions. And for the industry as a whole, it means restoring trust in our measurement currency, ensuring it reflects how South Africans actually live, view, and connect. Our context in South Africa is unique, and that's been touched upon by our global visitors from GFK. We really are unique and diverse in many, many ways. We embrace change. We embrace each other. South Africa is about community. It's about embracing one another. But it's complex. And in its complexity, our market is remarkable. And our challenges are as unique as our strengths. We operate in a landscape of power instability, analog switch-offs, and significant socioeconomic inequality. We are a nation of both data-rich and data-poor households, where viewing happens on everything from high-end smart TVs to the smallest mobile phone. Designing a system that measures this reality is no small task. It requires technical innovation, but also deep cultural understanding and the will to do something that's never been done before. That's what makes today so extraordinary. This signing is not an imported solution. It is crafted for South Africa by people who understand its context, its audiences, and its future. None of this happens in isolation. The journey to today has been one of collaboration and shared vision. Across broadcasters, advertisers, agencies, and the research community. It reflects the BRC's commitment to transparency and consultation, and GFK's commitment to excellence and innovation. To our partners at GFK, thank you for believing in the South African market, for bringing your global expertise, and for committing to walk this path with us for the next 5 years and beyond. And to our industry colleagues, everybody here today, as well as everybody that is online, thank you for your trust, your patience, and your belief that credible measurement remains the cornerstone of a sustainable media ecosystem. Today's signing is a symbolic start, but it's also a reminder that the work ahead will define us. Implementing total video measurement will require cooperation, adaptation, and above all, courage. Courage to embrace change, courage to trust the data, and courage to let go of old habits to build a future that reflects all audiences across all screens and all stories. So as we put pen to paper today, let us remember, this is more than a contract. It's a commitment to progress, to inclusivity, to innovation, and to truth in measurement. For over 35 years, we've measured what was watched. Now, we will measure who is watching, where they're watching, and how they're watching. This is the future of audience measurement in South Africa, and it begins right here, right now. And I'd like to hand over to Rolf Muller from GFK, who will give you more detail on what's in store.
So, hi everybody. Yes, my name is Rolf Müller. I'm based in Switzerland, come from there. I am commercial director to our media measurement operations in Europe, but I'm also leading the business development team for GFK worldwide, which is actually the actual reason why I'm here. Thanks, Gary. Thanks a lot. And actually, thanks to the whole BRC with its committee, its board. Thank you to the broadcasters of South Africa for placing your trust in GFK and giving us the wonderful chance and also challenge to set up and bring a new and enhanced total video measurement to your market. All this is expressed in the title as we are embarking on this transition journey from a TAM to a video 360 operation. But let me first introduce you to GFK Media Measurement. We are not specialized in TAM. We are not specialized on radio audience measurement. We cover all media. We run the digital currency in Spain. We cover published media in the US via our joint venture MRI Siemens, and also in Austria. We do cross-media in Germany, Italy, Netherlands, and Singapore. And we service the Netherlands and Singapore with an appreciation measurement, which is not about ratings and how many and what volume, but actually about how do consumers appreciate content that is being aired, be that on TV or on radio. We are now much more than happy and extremely proud to welcome South Africa to the GFK Media Measurement Map. Not only with the new TAMs, or the Total Video Measurement as we call it, but also with Radio 360, the RAM service where we are combining radio diaries with log file data from radio streaming in the same innovative approach as we have already implemented in Australia. But let's go back to TV. We measure 8 markets today. I'm counting South Africa in already. And we can actually say no two markets follow the same measurement approach. Why is that so? The TV industry is different in every country and is local, and hence there are diverse measurement needs. The research design can vary a lot, or actually should, depending on demographic structure, but also on data availability. There are many different measurement technologies and methodologies available, and actually we have quite a lot of them in our own portfolio. Let's quickly have a look at that. We have the tools. This is our toolbox, what we call it. And we have our tools for, of course, traditional TV measurement. Set up a TV household panel, as we will do in South Africa. Put in people meters and do sound matching, audio matching, and figure out what the people are watching live TV, but also time shifted. We also cover second screens. We have set up, or we do set up digital panels, individuals. They have measurement software on their devices, be that smartphones, tablets, PC, laptops, and that's why we can measure what they're streaming. Streaming, talking about connected TV, smart TVs that are connected to the internet. For that we use router measurement, which we will also install in South Africa. And finally, we create virtual panels by using big data, which broadcasters have, which providers have. We call it census data or log file data, but also return path data. And together with, you could say some magic, but actually it's data science, we create virtual panels, which are usually then in the end much bigger than the original TV household panel that we have, and help us really go into the segments and the long tails and all that. So let's have a quick look. I said no two systems are the same. This is Austria, where we have a TAM panel, of course. We have a digital individual panel. We collect log files. We even have return path data, and we put that all together to a virtual panel for the industry in Austria. Let's have a quick look at Belgium. We have a TAM panel, a traditional TAM panel here in Belgium, and we're right now actually rolling out the router measurement. It will be finished by end of year, and next year Belgium will also have streaming data in the data set, and of course there's data science involved as well. This is our biggest market that we have. This is a market that where we're measuring as GfK since 1985. We have a TAM panel, quite a big one with over 6,000 households. We've got an individual panel tracking digital movements on smartphones, tablets, and so on. We're collecting log files here as well, and we have the router in the panel. So you can see they all looked a bit different. What are we going to do in South Africa? Actually, we're including all our elements that we have at the moment in the different markets. We're bringing the experience from Austria, Belgium, Germany, I know we talked about 3 of them, and other markets as well, Singapore also to mention, into this country. And every element will be included. So I'll quickly show you how we are planning to make these work together in South Africa, setting that up in coming year and launching on 1st of January 2027, which is the data you will get then. We are setting up a TV panel with daily reporting size of 3,500 households, people meters for every device, every TV that is in the household, using audio matching. We will implement or install also the router measurement probably in about a quarter of the households, but that is a number that will change over time, I would expect at least. In all those households that have a broadband connection and have their smart TV connected to that broadband, to the internet, we will measure via the router what they're doing on the TV besides watching TV. We're also setting up a digital panel of 2,000 individuals which will download our measurement app to their smartphone, to their tablet, to their laptop PCs, and measure what they do out of home, for example, when they're on the trip to work and so on. And finally, with all this data from the panel and from the panels actually, we also need a partnership with you broadcasters. We're looking for implementing our watermarking technology because this industry is very much interested in not only which channels are being watched, but also on which platform are these channels being watched. For that, we need watermarking technology. We would like to have census data from the broadcasters, which we can connect then to our panelists, and the same for return path data. What will you get out of this? What will the industry get out of this? We showed you now how we measure. I'd like to show you quickly what we measure and what we will report on. It's TV content measurement. We're talking about 150 channels. Of course, that is scalable. On the big screen, live and up to 28 days time shifted. Broadcaster video on demand, content across all screens. So your content going out via the internet onto the second screens, we will measure that. OTT, VOD, SVOD on platform level. And I'd like to thank you once again. Thanks to the BRC, thanks to the whole industry. And this is a great challenge, and we're all thrilled to dive into this and make it happen. Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you, Rolf. Rolf touched on the delivery. I'm going to enhance that somewhat. Okay, so what are you going to get? Over and above what's written on the slide, you're going to get clarity, credibility, and completeness. For the first time in South Africa, we'll be able to see a total picture of how audiences engage with video, whether they're watching on a traditional TV set, on a mobile phone, or streaming content online. This is about one view of the viewer across every screen, every platform, and every moment of engagement. And it's a game changer, not just for the BRC and GFK, but for our entire media and advertising ecosystem. So let's unpack what's coming. So total video measurement, it's not an incremental upgrade. It's a complete reinvention of how we understand South African audiences. So at the beginning of 2027, it's business as usual with some insight into the big streaming players in the market. So there'll be a very broad view. By the end of the year, we're now getting more granular, and we're now getting into broadcaster video on demand, live streaming, as well as data on the big streaming platforms. Why is that important? It's important that for trading, we know what the broadcasters are offering to the market and a total view. But we're also able to gauge competitors that are not within the BRC stable. And that gives you a lie of the land. And it's important to have a lie of the land so that you plan better and you trust the return on investment that you're getting in relation to the full set of viewing that's happening out in the market. So it combines the precision of a panel-based data methodology with digital tracking, ensuring that every viewing behavior on every device is reflected in one consistent measurement framework. So in terms of rollout, we're moving fast. The implementation phase is already underway. And over the coming months, we'll be introducing the various elements step by step, leading to full operational delivery over the next year. What will you, as industry stakeholders, actually get from this? First, a single cross-platform audience currency consistent and comparable across broadcast and digital. Second, richer insights, that's reach, frequency, time spent across platforms, enabling better investment and programming decisions. Third, a currency that's built on global best practice, but tailored specifically for the South African context, addressing our local challenges around connectivity, device usage, and power supply. In short, you get data you can trust, insights you can act on, and measurement that reflects how audiences really watch. And finally, business benefits. This is where the impact becomes tangible. For broadcasters, it means being able to prove audience reach across every platform, not just television. For advertisers and agencies, it means more accurate planning and more accountable results. But beyond these, it rebuilds trust in the measurement currency itself. Because credible data leads to confident decisions. Confident decisions drive investment. And investment drives growth for all of us. That's the power of total video measurement in South Africa. It's not just about data, it's about creating stronger, fairer, and more future-ready media in our South African industry. And I'd like to hand over to Zach, who is the MD of NIQ, to say a few words.
Thank you, everybody. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for the invite. It's great to get out of the office and meet some of you. I just wanted to say a few words from our side. So, firstly, a big sense of gratitude from the organization to the BRC. This is a big decision. We take it very, very seriously. So we're extremely grateful for that trust that's been put in us. And we're also really grateful for the opportunity to create something truly innovative. We really believe in this country. We believe that this country deserves innovative solutions. This country is unique. Actually, that's what's one of the things that makes our job, I'm looking at Esty now, who's also from NIQ, makes our job really interesting because we love doing research, finding facts about things, and there's no market like South Africa. So it's just fantastic to be able to do these kinds of innovative, industry-leading solutions in South Africa. So thank you very much for that. And we've already seen in that video and then some of the points that Gary touched on. So change is a constant. I know it's very easy to say, but just think it through. Businesses are constantly innovating, they're creating new technologies, distributing it out into the industry, and consumers are changing. They respond in different ways, they pick up new habits, those habits continuously evolve. So what does that mean for measurement? It means that as people who want to measure accurately and give people real facts to take big investment decisions on, which is what this is all about, we have to constantly play catch up to the changes that are happening in the market. So with this solution, I think that's exactly what we're moving towards. And that's what we as a business do. So obviously there was a little bit of confusion created by the shared name, Nielsen. So NIQ, GFK, we're a separate organization, but what we do is we measure things, and we measure what products are being sold in South Africa across lots of different categories. We measure what consumers are consuming within the households. And now, and it's a real great privilege, we're now going to be measuring how people engage with media across TV and across and across radio. So that's why this is, I think, really exciting. We're also really grateful for this opportunity. And I just wanted to let you guys know that we're truly committed to this partnership. We're also truly committed to the market of South Africa, bringing global expertise but local know-how, marrying those two things to create something that's unique to the market that we love so much. So thank you very much, and that's it from my side.
So let's start the journey. But before we start the journey, I just wanted to make a special mention, well, of thanks to two people that are in the room and have been consulting to the BRC, and they've been guiding us. He's about to leave the room. And so yeah, I'd like to thank Paul Goosen and Bas de Vos. They've been invaluable in this journey that we've been on. This is highly, highly technical in nature, and they both come with years and years of experience on all sides of the fence, and they've been really holding our hand in this journey and created a lot of comfort for us. So yeah, it's important that they're acknowledged for their contribution. So thank you both. And then to the technical committee of the BRC, as well as the board of the BRC, this doesn't happen without all of you. The countless hours, meetings, deliberations, and not for just the sake of it, but for the sake of arguing points, fire in the room, coming together as one. This solution is built on blood, sweat, tears, and it should be. It's that important. So thank you to all of you too. Questions? But before we get to questions, I think we're going to do the signing. There we go. We won't take long, I promise. Everybody, when you go outside, there will be some bubbly. There is non-alcoholic if you feel it's too early, or alcoholic if you feel like it's perfect time. So it's up to you. When you go outside, you'll all be, please, raising a glass to this momentous occasion. Really big moment for everyone in the room, as well as everybody online. I'm sorry everybody online can't have champagne quite yet, but when we have the launch event, the big launch event, which will probably be all around the country, we'll make sure that the bubbles are flowing there too. Thank you. Cheers. Okay. Are there any questions? There'll be a microphone going around the room if there are. If you could raise your hand. Please feel free.
Thank you for the session and the invite, and also congratulations. I think it looks great. My name is David from the SABC. I just wanted to ask, at some point you spoke about a sample or where you're going to go into households where they've got broadband and router and so on, smart devices. Now what happens, especially on, our audiences, a majority of them won't be able to have maybe a router, or what happens to that target audience that we are serving that might not be able to have those smart devices?
Very good question, thank you. Okay, so as it stands, we've made some assumptions on the proportions of the panel, and whether a router meter or a people meter or both go into that household, as well as on-device measurement. We currently have a television establishment survey that is in field as it stands, and when the data comes out at the end of this year, we'll have a better fix on proportions in the country of households and their makeup, right? So router meters are only going to go into a portion of the panel. If a house is not eligible, if they don't have broadband connectivity, a router wouldn't go into that house. But it will reflect the makeup of South Africa, and that's why we're establishing the universe, so that that will not only lead to a universe update, but it's really going to inform the design of the panel and which homes get a router meter, which homes get a people meter, which get both, and then online measurement on top of that. So it's a merge across. But the router meter homes, it will be a small proportion of the actual households. And again, it'll be a universe within a universe. We only want to measure those households that have the ability to watch online. It wouldn't do us any good placing a router meter in a home that doesn't. And we certainly are not going to change the home's makeup.
Thank you very much, and indeed a momentous occasion, Johan from SABC. My question is around SABC Plus, which is obviously our hot property at the moment. From a watermarking point of view, that will be what you will bring in to measure your streaming data. Will it be broken down by channel? Because obviously within that environment, we have all our 19 radio stations, there's a lot of podcasting, a lot of broadcasting, a lot of catch-up content, etc., etc. So will one be able to break that down by channel and further down by property or program level, or is it more at the higher level or generic level?
So this is a fairly easy one to answer. Thanks, Johan. Yes. So you'll only have generic data for any entities that exist outside of the membership of the Broadcast Research Council. So when I was talking earlier about the bigger streaming players like Netflix, YouTube, etc., you'll get a helicopter view of those, but obviously we can't go into their back end, so we can't give you program data and granular data, etc. It's totally different on the broadcaster side, and again, that's why Rolf touched on this in terms of cooperation and walking this journey with the broadcasters, because there are some asks that we need, and it's certainly not a directive ask. It's an ask in terms of, okay, what are you expecting in terms of output? And all of those outputs that you mentioned are going to require cooperation from the broadcasters in terms of data that you would give in to the data set, and then the world opens up. But again, it's a menu of items that you'll be able to choose from in terms of what you want. And if you want everything can be done. If you want, select starters and mains and desserts, we can look at that too. But yeah, this will be hand in hand with the broadcasters in terms of what you require.
Thank you. I see the hand, so I've got another question. Linked to, you spoke about watermarking and the sensors, and also the expectation from broadcasters to provide data. Over and above that, it does sound like there are other requirements from a broadcaster's perspective. What are those, and are there also financial implications?
Okay, so there shouldn't be financial implications. At I suppose the most simplistic level, it's what we usually require from the broadcasters in terms of logs, as an example. So we'll need log files, and that's just commonplace. That's what we do currently. The follow-on, and again, I'm saying simplistic, but it's not necessarily simplistic, but we do require census data from the broadcasters for specific outputs. Now, if a broadcaster is willing to forego an output in terms of streaming measurement, or not necessarily getting a full view of streaming measurement on all platforms, well then, the broadcaster would say, well, we're not giving you our census data, as an example. If you do want that level of measurement, then the census data is needed. So again, it's a menu item, and again, there's commercial gain to be had through measuring all platforms on all devices. Your streaming platforms, although that is being monetized in a different way, it's not being monetized through a currency as it stands. And in terms of future developments, if you're going up against the global entities, the global digital players, Facebook, Google, etc., and their measurement capabilities, we have to keep pace with that, and that's something that we need to keep in mind. But I will say, the directive will come from the broadcasters. The directive is not going to come from the BRC. We need buy-in to go down that route. Sorting out the legalities, anonymizing data, giving the broadcasters comfort, absolutely will do that. We're not going to come in and say, you're going to do it this way, and that's it. This is a lengthy process, no doubt, but we at least need buy-in at a census level data position from the broadcasters to give you exactly what you want.
Thanks very much. I'm Bianca from PhD Media. Thanks so much for today. It's super exciting for our industry. Just something you did mention is obviously it's a complete new methodology and sample group. From a point of view of trending, will there be anything done into 2027 at all, or is it completely new? Well, obviously it's completely new, but will there be any trending possibilities?
Again, this is an easy one to answer. No. But I'll tell you why. So, because this is a total departure from what we currently do. Okay, new supplier, new way of doing things, a new view of everything. We're adding in elements that we haven't had before. You would assume that the data is going to come out looking different. So, yeah, this is a reset. So the trend starts from the 1st of January 2027.
I wanted to ask a question and answer it myself, if that's okay. I was talking to the gentleman from Telmar, that links a bit also to your question, is obviously when you have a new data set, you also want to make sure that you can work with the data on a daily basis once it's deployed, right? And I just want to build some comfort here, is that part of this whole process is not only research topics, but also how do you go to market with a new data set. So we will have engagement with the software bureaus, make sure there's calculation reporting rules, that file formats and all that sort of stuff is done. And we will also set up sort of a go-to-market program with training and explanation how to compare data and what not to compare it. So just want to build some comfort on that topic. It's part of the program. We haven't touched on it today, but it will be put in place in the next year, 2 years probably. So that was my question and answer.
Thank you, Beth.
Good afternoon, it's Marlon Davids, ETV. I think it links to the gentleman's question and answer earlier. Is there going to be a period before Jan 2027 where we'll be able to interrogate the data, look at probably understanding it better and seeing if before we do like a complete go live?
Absolutely. So it's a non-negotiable that we'll pre-audit the data. We will do side-by-side analysis because current measurement will continue. There'll be a period of scrutiny definitely by the broadcasters based on the audit. And it's important to note that we're not trying in any way to mimic what we currently have, right? We're not trying to achieve that. The scrutiny will be based on, does the service perform against the scope of work, the KPIs, contractual obligations, right? So if that's a yes, then we're off to a good start. But yeah, the broadcasters will have first sight of the data and work with it. The agencies will be afforded time to also work with the data. We know that there's planning, there are deals that are made with various advertisers, CPP deals, etc. We're not going to shock everyone and just flip the switch and have at it. This will be very calculated, very planned. Everybody must have comfort when we do turn over to trading.
Hi guys, thank you Gary and the team. So I'm Nash from the SABC as well, and the SABC is not really dominating the conversation, but nevertheless, I think it's important for us to acknowledge that this is it's almost like an evolutionary new way of doing things, and all of us sitting here today should almost know that we are part of that evolution. And I think Gary, this is a comment stroke, I guess leaning towards a question for elaboration for the rest in the room, that as part of the new way of doing things, the BRC is closing up on relationships with the industry, and that's including the regulator, CASA, the Department of Communication and Digital Technology, so that you're bringing everyone closer together and closer to data, because without data, you can't understand the evolution and where we're going to get to. The other thing is the changes in measurement. We cannot overstate the amount of changes that are taking place right now to be able to cover this complex way of video consumption. And we know that it's just evolving at an incredibly rapid pace. So the key critical element here is how much of changes are being put into this. This is no longer a gold standard even. This is now, I think, moving into a platinum status because we're incorporating a number of different elements and a number of different international solutions to make this a South African first and almost like a world first. And the last thing is, this is going to be a currency. It's not just research. So currency where we are going to be trading on it, and it's not just linear, it's also streaming, etc. So these are key points, and thank you very much. I'm glad to be a part of this journey. Thanks.
Thank you, Nash.
Hi, Gary.
Hello.
Great session. Quick one. I don't know if it's going to make sense, but I'm trying to make sense of it in my head. So we talked to the 2,000 individuals, right, in terms of streaming, right? So what is that just purely for data collection? And to the gentleman's point from the SABC, if we are able to measure content within a OTT platform, do we see planning as well from that perspective? Are we planning both TV and streaming?
Absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
Yes.
Great.
Sorry, I said that quite softly. Absolutely, yes. Yeah. No more questions. Going once. Going twice. Go on. Thank you, everybody. And again, please feel free to network outside, grab something cold to drink or hot to drink, whatever your preference is. Thank you to everyone online for joining. If there are further questions, again, I always say this at every engagement that we have. I have an open door policy. Please mail me, gary@brc.org.za. If you need some clarity on anything, you have further questions, you think about something later today, because TV measurement is on your mind firmly now, please feel free to reach out. Thank you all.